All right. Just so you guys know, I don't know what my computer's doing, but it's telling me it's going to restart at 8:20. If for some reason it does that and it kicks us off, just go right back to the recording that you were given and we'll just start over again. Hopefully it doesn't do that. Fingers crossed. But I want to let you guys know if it does happen, you're not like, what the heck happened? All right. So tonight, Jessica is talking. Jessica Robinson. Most of you know who she is. If you don't know who she is a diamond coach on my team. And Jessica actually holds the record for achieving diamond rank the fastest out of anybody on our team. And the cool thing about that is she actually signed up as a challenger and a coach at the same exact time. So she signed up as she was brand new to Beachbody all the way around. She did watch for a little while and did some research on her own, but she was technically brand new to Beachbody, and then just a couple months later achieved diamond rank. So take notes from her tonight. Listen to what she has to say. I asked Jessica to speak about being stronger than your excuses, because she is definitely somebody that if she wanted to make excuses, she has plenty of things that she could use. And she's somebody that doesn't make excuses. She pushes through and obviously achieves awesome things by doing that. So I just asked her to come on and kind of talk to you guys and just tell you guys what she does and give you whatever she has to offer. So I am going to mute myself, and then Jessica, you can take it away.
Thank you. I am so excited to be talking to you guys. I first want to thank you guys for jumping on the call. Team calls are absolutely vital to this business. If you plan on making this any kind of business for yourself, you really need to make it a point to get on these calls. For me, team calls are everything. I am on team calls multiple times a week. If I'm not running a call for my team, I'm jumping on other teams' calls. I'm actively involved in corporates' calls. They are vital, okay? So tonight, Stephanie wants me to talk about being stronger than your excuses. And honestly, when she asked me to talk about that, I kind of made a joke and tried to laugh it off, but for real, I was freaking out. And the reason why I was freaking out is because I am the type of person that feels like I have to be strong all the time. I've been like that my entire life, and it's hard for me to shake it. It's something I'm working on, but it's hard for me to get vulnerable with people. So I'm going to share some things with you guys that I've actually never shared with anybody. And the reason why I have to share these things is because I can't tell you how to be stronger than your excuses if you don't know what some of my excuses are and how I was able to push through them. So let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to check and I'm trying to monitor my language because I see little faces. Okay, so just to share with you guys, I have some really good excuses, like Stephanie said. Now, I know everybody goes through their own personal things, and nobody should ever feel like their struggles are harder than somebody else's. But just to give you guys a little rundown of some things that go on in my life. So I became a coach the end of September 2015, so I just celebrated my 1-year coach anniversary. And right after I became a coach, some really weird things started to happen to me. Started having some health problems, and New Year's Eve, I ended up in the hospital with half of my body paralyzed, my face, my arm, my leg, everything. Ended up in the hospital. The doctors kind of freaked me out and told me that they thought maybe I had multiple sclerosis. And it was a really hard time for me waiting for answers. Couple months went by, and after some further testing, they found out that I actually suffer from an autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. If you are not familiar with Hashimoto's, it is actually a condition where my body attacks my thyroid. Now, a lot of really fun things happen when your body is attacking your thyroid. So on a daily basis, I suffer with things like depression, brain fog, anxiety, insomnia, weird side effects with my body. My hair falls out. My skin is really dry. But the biggest thing is the depression. And that's something that I don't share with people. Because like I said, I have to be the strong one. But to be real with you guys, there are days when I can't get out of bed in the morning. If I didn't have my little sister-in-law here living with me, my daughter wouldn't make it to school some days. That's hard. Besides the Hashimoto's, as far as my family goes, I have a brother who's actually a heroin addict. He's suffered from addiction for a very long time now. He's constantly homeless, in and out of jail. He's currently on his way to prison. And there have been times since I've become a coach that I have been next to my brother as he withdraws on my mother's couch. So to be real with you guys, life is not always butterflies and rainbows for me. Now, besides my personal life, obviously I'm running a business at the same time, and there are plenty of things that go on with the business. Now, I have had coaches quit. I have lost rank. I have gotten rank back. I have actually almost my entire team disappeared before I went to Summit, and there have been times where I have wanted to quit, and I've had to completely start over. So those are some of the things that I have dealt with over the last year being a coach. And it's really strange because despite everything that goes on, I have always continued to do my vitals as a coach. Crazy, I know, because it's rough. So here's what I want you guys to do. I know everybody goes through really hard things. So I want you all to take a minute and have your piece of paper. This is not something you have to share with anybody. I want you to write down on your piece of paper, since you have been a coach, what is the hardest thing that you have had to deal with in your personal life or in your business? And I want you guys to write that down. And be real with yourself, the hardest thing that you've had to deal with. I'll give you guys a minute. Okay. I'm going to see how many eyeballs I have looking at me, and that will tell me who's done. All right. Now, one of my favorite things to do with my team, I like to gut check people. And it's something that I've started more recently, and I think it's really beneficial because I think it's important for people to reflect and to look at themselves, and that's what we're going to do right now. So I want you guys to be honest with me and with yourself right now. When whatever you wrote on your paper was going on, did you show up to your business during that time? Now, when I say show up to your business, I don't mean you signed on to your business center and checked to see, you know, what your other coaches were doing, or if you signed on to Facebook and threw a post up. I want to know, did you show up to your business? Did you do your 4 vitals that day? So if you did, I want you to raise your hand. Okay. Now, that's not to call anybody out. That's so that we can all be honest and move forward. So I'm sure you all want to know, how can you, sorry, I'm looking at my ratchet notes right now. Let's see. All right. Now, I want to tell you guys how you can push through and continue to work your business while those hard things are going on. And I think we got to mute someone. Hold on. I can't mute anybody, Steph.
I got it. I muted him.
Okay, cool. Thanks. So I just want to talk to you guys about how you can push through and continue to work your business despite hard things happening in your life. Now, one of my favorite coaches is Summer Tucker. And Summer Tucker, if you guys watched the videos that Stephanie posted in her team page, I actually shared the video I'm talking about. I know some of you watched it. I know Leslie watched it. I saw her comments on it. I'm pretty sure that Samantha is working through those videos too. She talks about willpower and how willpower will only get you so far, okay? And it is so true. I mean, anybody can muster up some willpower to get them through something, but when things are really hard, willpower will get you nowhere. That's when you have to dig in to your why power. Now, I know a lot of you know what a why is, but some of you might not. So I just want to tell you about why for a minute. So your why is why you are doing this. Why are you a coach? Why are you trying to build a business? If you are on this call right now, I am going to assume that you want to build a business. Why? Why do you want to do it? What are you working towards? I'm just going to share with you guys to kind of, if you haven't developed a why, I'm going to share with you guys what my why is and why I do what I do, so that maybe that can help you to dig deeper and develop one for yourself. So here we go. My why. The first part of my why is I want to make a difference in people's lives. I want to help people that were struggling the way that I was. There was a time when I had no sense of self. All I was a mom and a wife. I didn't know who Jessica was. There are so many people that deal with that. There are so many people that can relate to that. So part of my why is I want to make a difference, and I want to help people who are where I was. The next part of my why, I want to build a house. Now, me and my husband, we had children really young. We've had to, really do everything on our own and, get our life going by ourselves. My dream, my why is to build a house. I want a house that my children can grow up in. I moved like 13 times before I was 9 years old, and I never want my children to experience that. My why, I want to build my dream house. I want my husband to be able to leave the job that he absolutely hates to pursue things that he is passionate about. My husband has been at the same job since we were 17, and he has worked his way through the company, and his job is important. He does well at his job. We have to have his job. I want him to be able to leave it and do something that he loves. He wants to coach football. That's part of my why. I bust my ass at this so that my husband can pursue his dreams. Another part of my why, I want to show my kids that anything is possible. I want to show my kids that they don't have to stop dreaming. My daughter says she wants to be an astronaut, a doctor, and an artist all at the same time. I want her to know that she could do every single thing on her list. So my why is to work hard and show my children that there are no limitations and that dreams really can come true. Another part of my why, I don't know any other way to say this besides like this. I want to have it like that. Now, some of you might get what I'm saying. I want to have it like that. I want to be able to say, you know what? Next week, I'm going to go on a vacation. Let me get online and book some tickets. I want to have it like that. I want to go to the store and be able to buy whatever I want. It's mine. I spend it. Okay. The last part of my why, I see T laughing. She knows what I'm talking about. The next part of my why, I want to be remembered for something. So a lot of times in my life, I have felt like no one. I have felt like I was no one. And I'm just being real with you guys. And I've always felt like I was made for something more. And when I found Beachbody, I realized that was my something more. The possibilities are endless in this business, and I know that. So part of my why is to be remembered for something, and I know that I can be remembered for something in this business. Another little part of my why, I want to buy a G-Wagon. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. I want a G-Wagon in my driveway. When I build my house, I will have a G-Wagon in the driveway, and it will be matte black. Anyways, so let's talk about your why. Now, I hope me sharing mine has gotten your wheels turning a little bit. I have talked to quite a few people about their why. And like I said it before, nobody's struggles are harder than somebody else's. And I never want to discount somebody's dream, okay? But what I've noticed is if your why is not deep enough, if your why does not stir emotion, you will never get through those hard times with your why power. So I want to quit my job. That's a great goal. That's a wonderful why. But why do you want to quit your job? I mean, I want to quit my job is not going to motivate you to, get online and invite people to a challenge group and to read personal development if your dog just died, because it can just be put on the back burner. Your why has to stir emotion. It has to drive you every single day. So here's what I want all of you to do. I want you to take your piece of paper and I want you to write down your why. You don't have to get in depth right now, but I want you to write down something that stirs emotion in you immediately, okay? I know there's probably some moms on this call that get up in the morning and drive their kids to daycare. And they drop their kids off at daycare so that they can go and work a job that they're not necessarily happy with. Or, maybe there's somebody on this call that hasn't taken a vacation in years because they can't afford to after the bills are paid for. So I want you to write down something that stirs emotion inside of you. Now, as you guys are doing that, I just want to tell you, on my team calls, I like to discuss things. I don't like to talk at you guys. I like to get everybody involved. And so what I want to do is if there's anybody on here that is brave enough or willing to tell me what they wrote down for their why. If you are brave enough to share that, I want you to put your hand up. Oh, I don't see a lot of hands. Let's see. All right, Tiara, let's hear it.
Tiara Cook here. So my why, it started off not in depth at all. So I have 4. I put my bank account.